Hey, me again. Sorry. I suddenly thought I missed something that I need to share with you, which is this. Tony Blair, yeah, needs to go back to whatever rock it is that he has crawled out from and stay there. Because he's suddenly come out and he's all like, there was no medical reason, going on about the vaccine, yeah. This man, let's not forget, was Prime Minister during the Iraq War for weapons of mass destruction that did not exist. So a war was started, which, let's not forget, the West Fund, the West Arm. And then they send our military out to go and partake in a war that they essentially start for no reason. And people are killed on both sides under his reign, essentially. His lies, his government's lies. And he wants to crawl out now from wherever it is that he has been hiding, or whatever corrupt fucking shit he has been doing in between times, and wants to get on this fucking high horse. He needs to shut his poisonous mouth and go back quietly and shamedly to wherever it is he came from. And that's just a fact. And here's another thing I forgot to say earlier, which is about the Syrian war. Now, again, the Syrian war, no matter what the thoughts are of the Assad government there, which is obviously corrupt in its own way and totalitarian and tyrannical and what. It would not have gone on for so long if it was not for the West meddling, the West's sanctions, the West's funding, the West's arming. And that, again, is also just a fact. So the situation there, and this is, I'm going to put in links to all of these things. But they can't rebuild. They can't do anything because the West are interfering and sanctioning everything to make it impossible. Why? Because fucking arms manufacturers are making so much fucking money from this continuing. And so here's the other thing. Weapons manufacturers are murderers. They're murderers. They may not do the murdering, but they are the ones creating the things that do the murdering. They're the ones that are selling those things that do the murdering. They're the ones that are promoting the things that do the murdering. They are the murderers, because without them, the murdering would not happen. It would not exist. And not only are they the ones creating it, selling it, promoting it, they are benefiting from it. They are profiting from murdering. And they are going to be a stain on history. They're going to be a stain on all of our lives, particularly those that are actually suffering directly as a result of their even existence. As are all of the companies that are directly responsible for pollution and climate change. They are also murderers. Not only are they murderers of generations gone, current, but they're essentially going to be murderers of their own line of people, their own family, their own future, their own grandchildren. Because if they don't stop what they are doing, if they do not realize that people, including their own fucking line of children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, every fucking person, if they do not realize immediately that the consequences of their actions and the consequences of them solely being interested in themselves and the consequences of them solely being interested in money and greed and not anything else, they are murderers. They are murderers of people. They are murderers of the planet, of animals, of everything. They are the murderers. Because it is as a direct result of what they are doing, how they're running their businesses, their lack of care, their lack of concern, their lack of anything other than the bottom line. And they're continuing of that despite the global awakening, global awareness, global fucking facts, research, science that proves that it is so. Yet they continue. And worse, they're allowed to continue. And worse, that our governments haven't got the fucking balls to penalise, to stop them, to, why have they got this control? They're literally destroying the planet and people and animals, and we're watching it happen day by day by day, and all of the effects of it, and they continue. How can this be? How can it be that they have more control than the people that we vote for to be in control? To be the ones that we trust, that we put our trust in, that we put our vote in, to be the ones that care enough to have balls enough to stand up to these people, and they're not standing up to them. Instead, they're bowing down to them. And they're taking pieces of the pie and backhanders and whatever it is that makes it so. Because if people had a fucking backbone and a heart and a soul and an awakening and an understanding and a spiritual connection and a consciousness of what is going on, and for future generations and for past, and respect for all of that is, then this would not be. It just wouldn't. And progress is not the problem. The people that are stopping progress are the problem. Because progress and transformation and agility and the ability to adapt and evolve and transmute and all of these things, they are what is going to take us to they are the things that are going to take us to the next level. They are the things that are going to take humanity forward. They are the things that are going to take us back to who we are, our true selves, our spirituality, our oneness, our understanding. And those that don't want that are the problem. Those that don't, that are they are solely seeking to serve themselves. They like the status quo. Why? Because they benefit the most. And anyone, anywhere, in whatever it is, whether it is business, government, whatever, if they are against progress, if they are against everyone having an opportunity, if they're against everyone having access to healthcare, if they're against everyone having homes, if they're against everyone having a job, if they're against all of these things, they are the fucking problem. Not the people, the ones that are stopping the access to all of these things. It is ridiculous that we are in 2021 and people are starving. It is ridiculous that we're in 2021 and people don't have water everywhere, and people don't have sanitation everywhere, and people don't have a home. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It is. In terms of how long we've existed for and how long these things have gone on, it is insane. And the reason it is that way is because it has been designed, the systems have all been designed to keep the people low and these high. And it just can't go on that way. Because as I said to you in my last video, when people truly know the power that they have within themselves and that the universe is speaking to them constantly, always guiding them to their truest and highest selves, and that path will lead you to your success, to your abundance, to your health, wealth, and happiness, always. And those ideas are coming from there. And that voice is coming from there. That inner guidance is coming from there. That intuition is coming from there. That gut feeling is coming from there. That idea is coming from there. That answer is coming from there. That imagination is coming from there. That vision is coming from there. That dream is coming from there. That daydream is coming from there. That talk constantly is coming from there. So there is no end to the knowledge. There is no end to the answers. There is no end to the solutions. There is no end to the imagination. There is no end to the dreams. There is no end to the possibility. There is no end. There is only beginning. And as the days pass, you can just see, when you know that and when you feel it, and when you start noticing all of those things, when you start noticing you feel good, and the more that you feel good, the more that you receive. And then that constant flow. And when that happens, everyone will know their power, the true power. And nothing can affect you, because you know that you are always loved and you always have that guidance. It's always there for you, individually, you. And each of us all at the same time in every given moment. And When you know that and you feel it, then all of this nonsense here, all of these people that are the bad actors, the bad intentions, they're the ones that are in the negative place, with the guidance. They're the ones that are in the negative place. And when you're in that negative place, the only thing that is going to come from that is negative. And the only thing that you're going to attract is negative, because everything is a frequency, everything is a vibration, everything is energy. So if you're in that place, all you are going to attract is negative stuff. And when you're in this place, all you're going to attract is positive stuff, whether it is opportunities, people, places, things, whatever. And the more that you're in this place, the more that you will receive. And when you when you realize it and acknowledge it and are grateful for it and give back and pay it forward, then it's like that. And the same happens in the negative side though. But when you're in this, you can see that for what it is. You can just see it. You can see the people that are acting in that way and doing those things and telling those lies. It's like an alarm bell ringing in your face constantly when you see it. And this is what I'm saying about Tony Blair. It's like, where has he fucking been? He's been out making a shit ton of money, like the rest of the old bods there. Doesn't matter what side it doesn't matter whether you're Labour or Conservative at this point. And I know that what's her name? Anne Widdecombe said on Saturday on Mastermind, she was like, oh, but we get into this because we want to help people. Well, that may well be true for some. But something happens. Something happens when they get into the Houses of Parliament or whatever it is. Something changes. It does fundamentally change, because whilst they may have done some good in their constituency before they go into the Houses of Parliament, when they go into the Houses of Parliament, nothing gets done. Nothing gets done that anybody wants, not on a grand scale. And the worst thing is that people are too distracted with life. They're too busy just trying to survive, that they don't care, and they use a very basic amount of information that they maybe see on mainstream media to make their political decision when it comes to voting. And they're not even that. People aren't even thinking right now. And that's a God's honest truth, because the facts, we just had those votes. And Conservatives won again. It's like, have you just forgotten the whole 16 months of lies, blatant lies, that have just come out on a daily basis? You've forgotten all of that, and you're still voting fucking Conservative. And this is what I mean. People that are so ingrained in how they vote without even thinking. And it's the same with Democrats and Republicans. You're not even thinking about what's actually happened, what's actually been done, what's actually been compared against their manifesto. You're just like, I'm a Republican, I'm voting Republican regardless. Same thing here. I'm Labour, I'm voting Labour. It doesn't matter if Labour are fucking shit. Same thing with Conservative. It doesn't matter if they've destroyed the country for 16 months, clearly, because people are still fucking voting for them. They've just done Brexit, which is just a massive shit show. It's an even bigger shit show than COVID. Not a single good thing has come out of it. The two industries that wanted Brexit were farming and fisheries, and both of them are the worst off. The worst off. Like, literally. So it's just concerning. It's concerning that people don't care enough to check these things. And that they're so ingrained in this, like, well, I've always voted XYZ because my parents did, and and that's pretty much it. Literally. Or, oh, well, I saw this and that kind of rings true to me. But why did you see it? It's because they targeted you with that specific bit of information that they know that that's going to ring true to you. Because that's how the technology works. Serious. Like, we need to wake the fuck up. No joke. It is alarming. And as I say, the way that they are portraying COVID and that is criminal. It's criminal. There's 196 countries in the world, and only the richest 7 or whatever it is are pushing the vaccine to the extent that they are, to the extent that they make you feel bad if you don't have it, to the extent that they make you feel stupid if you don't have it, even if you've spent 16 months researching it and know full fucking well what it does and what it has in it and what the potential side effects are, and you've made a conscious evaluation of the facts based on both the clinical research and subsequent research and subsequent results and the 79 pages of side effects that you can get from each and every one of those vaccines and all of the other things that you could have that could potentially make you die. And that's just now. That's not including all of the fucking things that they don't even know yet, because guess what? They only just researched it. They only just created it. They don't even know what the long-term effects are themselves. They're just winging it. And oh wait, pharmaceutical companies, can they be trusted? No, they cannot. Why? Because they have created so many drugs over so many years that are carcinogenic, that are literally deadly, have caused pandemic, you know what I'm saying, have caused a wave of fucking addiction to various things. Out of the top 15 worst drugs in the world, half of them are prescription drugs from these same fucking companies. Like, please, you cannot tell me I have to have a drug made by a company that is currently and has had billions of dollars of settlements for drugs they create that were approved at the time by all of the same people that have since been proved to be deadly. I think I am going to take my chances. 99% of people recover. I'm cool with that. If it's my time to go, it's my time to go. But guess what? If you look after yourself, you won't get it. And it is as simple as that. So, I'm sorry, Tony Blair. But where has he been? Where has he been for the last 5 years, 10 years? No one gives a fuck what you got to say, mate. Go back and crawl under that fucking rock. I'm telling you. And not only that, there's about 10 of them. Literally 10 or more of our government go and mentor a dictator on how to be the best dictator he can be at our expense. That's a fact. What does that say? What does that say about the people that we have run the country? If we're supposed to be a democracy, but our very own government are using our taxpayers' money to fly themselves by private jets to go and mentor a dictator, at least one, on how to be the best dictator they can be. So no. I know there are some people, some MPs that are trying their best, but we're in Mordor here. This is Mordor. This is the centre of evil. It is. If you look back through history and read all of or just look at history in general, it starts here. It does start here. And the evil eye, this eye of Sauron or whatever, well, we all know where that is. So I just can't take them seriously. I can't take them seriously. I can't take any of them seriously. It's like everything that comes out of a politician, and this is the other thing as well. They like to think that they're really clever. They like to think that they're cleverer than everybody else. And oh my God, do they look down their nose at you? And here's the thing. Just because they went to Eton or wherever, and then they went to an Oxford or Cambridge, and just because they use big words, does not mean that they've got any fucking common sense. And it also doesn't mean they have any life experience. They've got absolutely no knowledge. True knowledge is an actual understanding of what it is to come from the other side, to come from the side of nothing, of having nothing, of having no one, of having no support, of having no cheerleader, of having no money, of having none of the things that they have had that got them to the places they've been by knowing people, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and all of that shit. They have no grasp of fucking reality. They are looking down their noses from their glass houses, making policies for people for everywhere from a place of not knowing. So nothing that they do, nothing that they say, nothing that they discuss, no policy that they make is applicable. Because it is coming from a place of not knowing, truly. It's coming from a place of assumption, from a place of looking down your nose at somebody. And that is why it doesn't work. That is why it is always not worked. Because the very creation of Parliament was made by aristocracy to basically control the masses. And it was, as same with law and the criminal justice system, it was created to protect them against the poor people. And schooling system, it was created to educate people, but only just enough to make them slaves to the very system that supports them. And that is how it was created. And it was created by people that were racist. It was created by people that are anti-Semitic. It was created by Islamophobic. It was created by people of that mindset of that time. And it has never changed. That is the way it is. And they can talk about, oh, we're not institutionally racist. Yes, you fucking are. You are at the very core institutionally racist, and you have always been. You were created by racists. As was every fucking government everywhere in the West. It was created by people because only the aristocracy were ever educated. No one else was educated originally. Only the rich people were educated. And then it was like, oh, hold on. We need to educate them just enough to be able to work for us, but not enough to know that they can have the same power as us. So we're going to create big old, what are they called, workhouses, so that they'll all be segregated, and they'll just do just basic amount of literacy, just enough to be able to work for us, and we'll be able to con them into doing it for free by going, oh, but we'll, from your slums, we'll be able to take you in and give you just this little amount of education, and you'll work for us day and night for free, and we'll give you a roof over your house and some slop to eat. That's how it started. Make no mistake about it. They were like, oh, and that has just carried on. It's just, we just didn't realize it. We're like, education system now is just as shit as it was back then. It's just, we've not even thought about it. We're not even, the education now, when you come out, what are you prepared for? Absolutely fuck all. And it's not the teacher's fault, it's the system's fault. Because now, look at the world now, you're not prepared. You're not prepared. Well, our children should be, they should be taught coding, they should be taught finance, they should be taught how to deal with their emotions, being mindful. They should be taught, before they even leave school, they could easily be taught how to start a business, an e-com business of some description, any business, design an app, whatever. There are kids in this world that are designing apps at 9 and are multi-millionaires. If they can, everyone can, right? So if we can teach all our children to be imaginative, to have dreams, to do all those things, to be creative, to, whatever business it is, whether it is art, selling art, whether it is writing songs, whether it is writing poetry, whether it is writing books for other kids, whatever it is, paying it forward, giving it back. If they come out of the education at 16 or whenever, and they already have a business, and they're already financially minded, and they're already mindful, and they already understand history, and they already understand that everybody is important, and that our diversity is what makes us great, yeah, then we'll have a generation of kids to be proud of. So, rant over. It's not even over. I've still got more, but I'm going to cut it off there because I feel like I could go on and on. But I'm going to put links into stuff. I'm going to put into there's the grey zone about Syria. This guy's just come back from Syria, Aram Mate, and he's angry. And I feel that. I get it, because it's gone on so long, and it should never have gone on in the first place. And the only reason it's gone on so long is because we are funding it and we are arming it. And then, as I said to you, who are the murderers? The weapons fucking manufacturers are the murderers. The companies that are polluting this planet, they are the murderers. Not only are them, as I say, not only are they the murderers of everyone everywhere, but also of their own fucking families, their own, like, why are they not thinking? Do they just not care? Is money that important? More important than lives? Really? Of everyone's lives? Of their own? Like, I just can't compute. My brain does not compute. makes me angry too. So I'm going to put in that. I'm going to put in the stupid thing about Tony Blair. He needs to fuck off. I'm going to put in this thing as well from a guy called Ivor Cummings. And he has done a comparison with actual data versus predicted data to do with COVID with different countries. Because, really, as I say, there's 196 countries around the world, and most of them haven't had anywhere near as many cases or as many deaths as the UK or the US. And that really goes to show that there is a massive fucking problem in the UK and the US. Really. And a lot of those as well are, and this is not downplaying it in any way, shape or form, because it is tragic. I've lost people. I'm not, but a lot, if you look at the numbers, a lot of the people that have actually passed away did have underlying medical conditions. COVID morbidity. I can't remember the word. Sorry. Yeah. And then it's then looking back at that, like, well, what are the other things? Because when you look at the numbers that of people that have actually died that were just straight healthy are so minimal. So minimal. All of the ones, most of the others have got things like cancers, heart diseases, liver diseases, real serious underlying conditions. And then you think, well, if they just got the flu with that, and this is horrible conversation, but it's important because they're using that as a stick. They're using it as a stick to beat everyone with, to have a vaccine. And it's important to know the difference in these numbers and these things. And particularly in comparison to the rest of the world and all the other countries and what their rates are and how they managed to get it under control and how they haven't got anywhere near as many deaths and they haven't got anywhere near as many cases, and there's just as many people, if not more. And the entire continent of Africa has less deaths and less cases than the UK. The entire continent of Africa. So, love you. Yeah, and I'll put the thing in about the grey zone and Syria. It's really important. I'll put in links to who sanctions who, and guess what? It's the West sanctioning everyone everywhere. To what kind of just a method of control? So to keep people poor, to keep people in these situations. So it means that they're vulnerable. It means that they're easy to exploit. I mean, that is essentially it. These people are slapping on these sanctions on all of these countries. So who's the bad guy? Well, it's us. Not us. But the ones that we vote to put in charge that are just fucking shit up all over the place. And you know why I have so much respect for Russia? Because I'm watching more and more stuff about Putin, and I've got to be honest with you. Yeah. He deserves respect. Because whatever you think, and what you know is not right. And because generally people will just watch mainstream media and go, oh yeah, they're right. But have you ever checked any of that information? No. I have. And I don't, by any stretch of imagination, know everything there is to know. Of course I don't, because no one does. But I certainly know a lot more than what I'm told, because I don't believe anything that I'm told. I question everything. And Putin, used to be a spy. Okay? So any country anywhere that has military or their intelligence agencies, this will resonate with you in the sense of forget everything else. Just think about that if you're in that position where you are working for your country and you follow orders and you have to do things that most people wouldn't, but you're a warrior, essentially. You're a frontliner. You are following those orders and you do what you think is right based on those orders, right? That's what all military personnel do, because they're following orders. But who knows that order's right? You're just following an order. But if the person at the top's lying, or that war is a war is just being created as a means to sell guns, gain land, get drugs, power exchange, and it's really nothing more than that. And both sides, those people in power, are just doing it as like a big game of Risk, and they're just following all the orders all the way down. So essentially all these people are innocent. They're just following orders, aren't they? And they're doing what they believe is right based on what they've been told, but they're innocent. Both people are innocent. They're killing each other and they're all innocent. So the reason I have respect for Putin is because he's been there, he's done it, he's had to go there, he has and anyone who's been in this situation, as I say, this will resonate with you. If you've been in a military or an intelligence organization or whatever, and you've followed orders for your country, believing you're doing the right thing at the right time based on the information you're given, and that alone, and you don't question, you just do, and you kill in the line of duty, essentially. And he's gone from that to that. And he pivots in a heartbeat because he's in charge and they respect him because he's gone from that to that, because he's done that, because he's been to that side and he's worked his way up. And like this week, he's changed the constitution like that. And he's changed the constitution for the benefit of the people, and he's done it in a heartbeat. Can you imagine that? We haven't even got a fucking constitution. Do you know what I'm saying? America, could you imagine that? Could you imagine even mentioning changing the constitution? One, that would just be an outrage, first and foremost. Even if it was mentioned, could you imagine how long it would take to change it on the system as it is, with the people as it is, with the way that the two parties are? Even if it was for the benefit of the people. But he's done it. He's done it like that. He went, I'm going to change it. I've changed it. Done. This is all like research stuff. He's stepping up, regardless of what anyone else thinks, regardless of what has gone before, regardless. Yeah, he is stepping up. Yeah, because clearly he knows. He knows. He feels it. He's part of the momentum. He's part of the change. He is. Because it doesn't matter what's gone before, as long as we accept in the minute, every single minute, what we can do. It's not about what we can't do. It's not about what was. It's about, right, what is the best now in this minute, every minute, change. And that's the flow he's on. And he's changing family policies to look after everyone. He's making traditions, to respect all of their, their cultural and that's important to remember. And it's not about not remembering anything else. It's just about making sure that we remember all of our ancestors, all of our traditions, all of our cultures, and respect that. He's changing family, as I say, respecting family policies. He's changing things about women. RESPECT, and he's doing like that. And the only reason anyone doesn't like is because mainstream media has made you think that. And nobody's questioned it or researched it. But actually, if you do, he's actually really funny. He's actually really charismatic. And he's clearly gives a shit about his fucking country. And he's prepared to make the changes necessary and do it in a minute. And he has been there. He has done a job that most people wouldn't. Regardless of it's right or wrong, he thought he in that minute he was doing his job for his country as he was ordered to do so. And he's gone from that to that. Well, nothing but respect for him. And he's changing. And he's changing his country for the best. So, and he's doing it that quick. You think about how quick, nothing quick is happening. They're all talk, no action. And they're just, it's not even that. They're, it takes months, years to get something changed from when it first occurs, by which point it's redundant because so much other shit's happened. Like, you need to be moving that quick. You need to be moving as quick as he is. It's true. Now Rano's over. Big up Russia, love you guys. Big up world, love you all. Big up, I'm even going to go there. Oh, I can't remember. Do you know what? I do this every time. Because everyone deserves love. Everyone. Absolutely everyone. Xi Jinping. Oh, I think that's it, right? China, love you. Africa, love you. South America, love you. So high five, big tens, fist pump, hands in, smashing it. And I will see you tomorrow. Love you.